A recent study found that only 40% of Singaporeans can afford to spend beyond the basics most of the time, while 53% did not have sufficient emergency funds. And to add on, 79% of Singaporeans either do not have a retirement plan or are not on track with their retirement plans. While this may seem scary, the good news is that by knowing where your problems are, you can then take the first steps to solving them. In this video, we'll be going through how much you need to save and invest at every age so that you will eventually be able to retire and never have to work a day in your life ever again. Not only that, I will also show you what the net worth and CPF balances you should have at every age range so that you will know whether you are keeping up with your peers or not. But before I start, do join my 9,000 members Telegram chat group to discuss or ask any questions that you may have. Alright, with that being said, let's start with how much you should have in your 20s, or a term better known as net worth, where you basically take everything that you have, like your savings, your investments that's down by 80%, your house, then subtracting away all your debts, like your student loan, home loan, credit card debt, and anything that's left over is your net worth. While there is no official data on what the median net worth of a 20-year-old in Singapore is, I found some estimations from various articles. First, Dollars and Cents estimated that you should save about $112,000 in savings by the time you turn 30, while Sidley estimated that the number should be closer to $84,000. While these numbers may seem impossible, many people have already achieved it. However, I have to admit that in order for this to happen, you will need to have quite a number of things working out for you, such as your partner is not the high maintenance type. If they are, maybe you want to think twice. You don't have to support your partners, and you need a decent income in the first place. If you are between 25 to 29, your median monthly income would be around $4,000. And before you ask, no, it does not include your employer's 17% CPF contribution. This is quite achievable, especially if you have a degree cert, since the median pay of a university fresh grad is already at $4,300. But even if you have not achieved this income yet, you don't have to worry too much, as everything will go up from here on. Since the older you get, the more experience you will gain, and with that, the higher income you will earn. But perhaps more importantly, when you are in your 20s, this is the most crucial time to lay down your foundations and build good financial habits. So here are a few goals to aim in your 20s. 1. Aim to clear off any high interest debt as soon as possible. Personally, I consider anything above 4 to 5% as high interest debt, such as your student loan, credit card debt, and any R-long loan that you might have. Because by chop paying off all your high interest debts quickly, it will be as though you are earning a guaranteed return every year. 2. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses as your emergency funds. For example, if you spend about $2,000 a month, you will need to save up $6,000 to $12,000 worth of emergency funds. This would come in handy if you accidentally kena accident or you're not careful lose your job. Touch wood, of course. And of course, make sure to park them in a high interest savings account to earn some sweet passive income. Third, aim to save at least 20% of your income. This will help you be disciplined when it comes to saving money, as without this trait, you will find it hard to accumulate wealth no matter how much you earn. If you have any upcoming expenses like your new house, renovation, and wedding, you can park this money in savings accounts, bonds, and fixed deposit to earn some extra interest. Otherwise, you can start investing as soon as possible, because the earlier you can save and invest, the better off you would be. For example, even if you have just invested $600 every month for the rest of your life, with an average return of 7%, you will still achieve $1 million by the time you turn 60, all due to the magic of compounding by investing early. Fourth, aim to settle all your insurance in your 20s, such as your hospital plan, accident plan, as well as critical illness plan. That's because 1. This will ensure your net worth is protected if ever something happens. But more importantly, by getting your critical illness plan as early as possible, you will lock in a cheaper rate. And 5th, learn how to use a credit card. This will let you earn free cashbacks or free business flight tickets, which will help you save a ton of money and enjoy free gifts along the way. And speaking of that, dreaming of flying in business class? Make this a reality today by getting up to 60,000 miles when you sign up for the DBS Altitude Card. There's more than enough miles for a one-way business class flight to Japan. Here's how this works. First, when you spend $3,000 within 60 days from card approval date, you receive 43,400 miles for the DBS Altitude Amex card or 36,400 miles for the DBS Altitude Visa Signature card. Then, if this $3,000 is spent in foreign currency, you will get 6,600 base miles or 3,900 base miles if you are spending locally. And if you pay for the first year annual fee of $196.20, you will earn another 10,000 miles. This is totally optional as you can choose not to pay the annual fee. But wait, that's not all. The DBS Altitude Card lets you turn your daily spends into miles for life, where you get to earn up to 2.2 miles per dollar on overseas spends and 1.3 miles per dollar on local spends. And the best part, points that you earn on this card do not expire. So there's one less thing for you to worry about. Plus, if you get the Visa version of this card, you will get a complimentary Priority Pass digital membership, which lets you enjoy 2 free lounge receipts at over 1,500 airport lounges and travel experiences worldwide every single year. So sign up to the DBS Altitude Card with my promo code down below and make your dream a reality today. Moving on to your 30s, dollars and cents estimated that you should aim to save about $289,814 by the time you turn 40, which is actually pretty close to Sidley's number of $243,000. By now, your income should be higher as compared to when you were in your 20s. The median money income of someone in their 30s would be around $5,833. But if you are working as a professional, it will be slightly higher at $7,500. Again, not including employers' 17% CPF contribution. At this age range, the median CPF balance would be around 200k to 220k. However, even if your CPF balance isn't at this level yet, it's not a big deal, as the main goal for CPF is not to stuff it with tons of money in your 30s, but instead, it's just to hit FRS by 55 so that you have a decent payout when you turn 65. Mr. Lu from 1M65 advocates having at least 130k in your CPF SA and MA when you turn 30. Doing so will allow you and your spouse to have a combined CPF balance of $1 million by 65 years old. So with that in mind, here are a few things you should strive for when you are in your 30s. First, aim to top up $8,000 into your CPF SA or MA every year. This becomes a lot more important in your 30s as you are now in a higher tax bracket, and topping up money to your CPF would not only let you save on taxes but will also help to earn a steady from BP 4 to 5% interest in CPF every year. 2. Fidelity recommends saving at least 2x of your annual salary in order to be on track to saving enough for your retirement. So for example, if you earn about 7.5k a month, you should aim to have at least 180k in savings and investments. Third, when you are in your 30s, this is when all your big ticket items will hit you all at once. That's because this is the median age to get married, give birth, as well as buying your first home. As a result, you might see your savings rate drop a little, but hopefully by now, your income has gone up as well. So things should balance out. In that case, you can still aim to hit a savings rate of around 25% to 30%. Fourth, if you have started investing in your 20s, you have already made most of the mistakes that you can make, such as buying high, selling low, buying random crap stocks, and trying to time the market. And you should already know what kind of investment style suits you the best. But just in case you don't, here's a quick and easy method on how to invest for beginners. Buy low-cost index funds like the S&P 500 ETF, SPYL, or the All-World Index Fund, VWRA, and just consistently dollar cost average into it every month. Market up, you buy. Market down, you cry a bit, then you buy more. Your goal is not to get rich overnight, but instead to grow your wealth over the next 20 to 30 years so that you have sufficient savings to retire. Now, you are in your 40s. Dollars and Cents estimates that you should have about 488k by the time you turn 50, while Sidley's number is a little lower at 410k. On the income side, the median monthly income is around $5,958 for someone who is in their 40s. But if you are working as a manager or similar roles, it is totally possible to even reach $11,000 monthly income. But whichever the case, try to take full advantage of your career in order to maximize your earnings potential, as statistics have shown that the median income is the highest in this age range and will generally fall from here. The median CPF balance for this age range is around 300k to 400k. But again, it's totally normal to not have this much in your CPF, especially if you have been using your CPF money to pay for your monthly mortgage. And even if you are earning less than the median salary and have just started contributing 8k to your CPF starting from the age of 40, it is still possible to hit FRS by 55. So you don't have to worry too much, yeah? Alright, here are a few goals you should aim for when you are in your 40s. 1. Aim to save at least 3x to 4x of your annual salary. For example, if you earn 10k a month, that would be 360k to 480k saved and invested. Second, retirement is no longer an abstract concept to you. That's why this is when you should start seriously thinking about your retirement plans. Studies have found that the majority of the people have yet to start planning for their retirement even at this age, and that will have dire consequences later on. To better plan for your retirement, you can first start by finding how much money you really need in order to retire. Then work backwards from there. Check out this video for more info. Then keep your expenses under control, budget your finances, and not overspending. You know, the usual. As the more you can save and invest, the more money you will have later on. Next, when you are in your 50s, Dollars and Cents estimates that you should have about 638k in net worth by the time you turn 60, and Sydney estimates it at 534k. If you can achieve this, you will be having a net worth that is more than the average Singaporeans, which is just 509k according to a report. In your 50s, your median monthly income would be around $5,000 or $10,865 if you are in the managerial role. As for median CPF balance, it will be around 300k to 400k. The 50s is when magical things starts to happen because 1. You can finally start to withdraw money from your CPF at 55. But of course, don't withdraw if you don't need to use the money lah. Your kids have mostly grown up, so your expenses should go down, and whatever that you have planned earlier in life is now starting to bear fruit, such as career goals, investment goals, and relationship goals. So here are a few things you should try to do when you are in your 50s. 1. Aim to save at least 6 to 7 times of your annual salary. For example, if you are earning 10k a year, that will be around 720k to 840k. This is quite possible if you have been investing your money consistently all this while. 2. By now, you should be almost done paying for your home mortgage. Doing so will give you the security and peace of mind of not having to worry about your next payment. 3. Look to slowly transition your investments from growth stocks to dividend stocks, as now, your main goal for investing is not so much to grow your money fast and furious, but to give you a decent passive income when you eventually retire. Also, the other benefit of transitioning to dividend stocks is so that your investments are a lot more stable as compared to if you remain invested in growth stocks. Later, the market crashed by 50%, then you know. Finally, if you are in your 60s, congratulations! You have been working hard all this while and are about to retire soon. Dollars and Cents estimates that you should have about 688k in savings when you are in your 60s, while Sydney estimates it at 558k. The median income at this age range is around $2,654 or $8,167 if you are a manager. But by this point, it's not that important anymore, as your main source of income should be coming from your investments rather than from your day job. Likewise, your CPF balance would have also dropped to below 200k, and that is because you are now finally receiving your CPF payouts at the age of 65. In your 60s, there's not many new financial goals to achieve other than just to continue saving, budgeting, have good financial habits, and enjoy your long-awaited retirement life. So that was a quick breakdown on how much you should save by every age. But even if you find yourself falling behind, it is perfectly fine, as everyone's situation is different. What's more important is that you start working on your goals, build up good financial habits, and you will eventually end up in a better place from today. Like, share, and subscribe, as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.